daughter, and she's praying to her. And this story is going to follow a girl named Naomi, growing from a child to an adult. We hope you enjoy.
Want to pray now? Okay, let's wait. Okay. Will you pray for us?
This child has a great destiny to live a life of glory. You are one to bring glory to my name.
Jesus' name we pray. Good job, God. Okay, so time for breakfast. We go down to breakfast.
Naomi is now 4 years old and is learning the message of God from her mother in their living room.
Sweetheart, did you enjoy your breakfast? So you liked your breakfast? Okay, that's good. So now we need to read the Bible before we go out. You want us to read the Bible? Okay. So today we're going to read from Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. Remember the story of Joshua that I told you? Joshua was Moses' servant, and when Moses was going to die, Moses was telling Joshua what he needs so that he can grow very well. Okay? So I'm going to read it to you today. Joshua 1:8. It says, this book of the law must not depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night so that you may act carefully according to all that is written in it. In other words, this Bible, you have to study it every day and do what it says we should do. What will happen if we do what it says we should do? It says, for then you will make your way successful and you'll be wise. In other words, if you read the Bible daily and you do what it says you should do, you will be very wise. You want to be wise? And you will be successful. You want to be successful in life? Okay. So we need to read the Bible. Do you have any question? Oh, she's asking why do we read the Bible every day? This Bible helps us to know God. It tells us who God is. And it tells us what plan He has for our future. And then makes us God's best friend. Do you want to be God's friend? You want to be God's friend? Awesome. So, if we read the Bible, we become God's friend. God can trust us. We can trust God. Do you have any more questions? Pastor, are you giving us my copies? Just focus.
Day.
Oh, how long do we have to read the Bible?
Yes.
How long do you have to eat?
Every day.
You have to eat every day. Is Is it just when you are small that you eat every day? No. You have to eat even when you are old and big like grandma and grandpa. Don't you eat?
Yes.
The same way with the Bible. The Bible is what we eat. But if you don't eat, what happens to you? You're going to die. If you eat, what happens to you?
To grow.
You're going to grow. I should use this one. Okay. So we're talking about what happens if you don't eat. Say it into the mic. If you don't eat, what happens? You're going to die. But if you eat, what happens? You're going to grow and be strong. The same thing with the Bible. When we study the Bible, we're eating spiritual food and we grow. We grow. We grow. As we grow physically, we also grow in our spirit. And we'll be able to face any challenge in life. Is that okay? Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Do you have any more questions? Okay, so let's pray. Father, we thank you for your word this morning. We ask that your word would prosper our lives. In Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, guys. Go grab your knapsack and let's get going, okay? So we don't get late.
Naomi is now in grade school and is presenting the knowledge that she has gained from home to her peers.
La la.
We're not talking. You're on play. Hallelujah.
You're invited to my party tomorrow. Hey, tomorrow's my birthday party and you're invited. Wait, not you, Nifa, but you, Naomi.
Why?
Because she's not cool enough. Look at her bow. It looks like she got it from the trash can.
Nifa's awesome, and God tells us to be loyal to our friend. So if she's not going, I'm not going.
Maybe so.
Christ can bring by being obedient in the face of fear.
You can't go in there.
Why?
Because Dave will get mad if you tell on him.
I'm supposed to do the right thing even though it is scary. Black eye. The black eye.
What? But they can give you a black eye.
God protected Daniel and his friends, even Esther. He can surely protect me from an angry boy.
Aren't you scared?
If you obey God, he will protect you.
You're lost.
Naomi is now graduating high school. She has been through all the stages of school so far, and she feels like she's able to share what she's learned with her peers.
Hey, Naomi, how you doing?
Good?
Good. I see you got your diploma. Congratulations. Well, I actually got a call and you got the scholarship, so you're gonna get the information in the mail soon. Good for you. Okay? Congratulations, sweetheart.
Hi, Naomi. Hi. Hey, congratulations, you got your scholarship. Where's your diploma? I didn't get it. Why?
Well, I would skip class, go to parties, not really study.
Don't be sad.
Why shouldn't I be sad?
My Sunday school teacher said that even though disobedience leads to consequences, there's still a way to change your destiny.
So my life's not ruined?
No. Here, let me show you. Study this book of instruction continually. Meditate on it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then you will prosper and succeed in all you do.
Wow, that was deep. Where could I get my own book?
The store.
Maybe I should ask my mom to buy one.
Okay.
Hey, wanna go to Starbucks?
Yeah, sure.
What's your favorite drink?
Hallelujah. Okay, so the teachers, it is on my head. Okay, so we're going to basically sit up here, the teachers, so we can answer questions, and I guess my dad could facilitate. And then anyone who has questions, where's that scary looking microphone? This one? If a parent has questions about what the children are learning, whatever assignments they may have, or changes they've noticed, or anything like that, it will basically circulate around, and then we'll answer the questions one at a time. And if you have anything you want to say, this is basically the space where you can say it. Okay. Where's Auntie Vicky? She's with the children. Of course. I'm gonna sit on stage. So I don't want to sit down.
So we can discuss what the children have been doing recently. We wanted to focus on things that a lot of, like, even adults right now don't fully understand. Because with what we hear and like what we see Christians doing, we see that maybe there are foundational lessons that weren't fully taught or aren't fully understood anymore. So we decided that we would go back to the foundation things. We would start with courage, with faith, with devotion, with loyalty. Those essential things that when you learn, they just build a person up to be a better adult. So if you have noticed any changes in your children, or if you have noticed things you want to share so that we can do that will maybe change our program, we can do that as well.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
I actually really want to commend the works you've been doing. And yeah, when we're coming this morning, and Benita just said something like, "Mommy and Daddy, what happens if..." No, she first said, "I've got my diploma." She said, "I've got one diploma." So, unlike Benita, because these guys will sometimes say, "Oh, I don't want to go to school because it's hard work. Is there anything I can do without have to do homework or go to school?" I said, "Well, where will I start from?" But this morning, the tone changed. They were talking about, okay, my teacher said if you don't get a diploma or something, would that mean you have to start from kindergarten? All of us are saying, yeah, I've done one, I'm going to look for the next one so that I can work. They started saying what they would like to become in future, unlike before that they say, oh, it's just they're looking at the art part of doing homework. So I really want to comment that it's really helping them. At least, yeah, it might require consistent and persistence, which will come from parents to keep letting them know. But at least for the perspective of listening from the church, from the school, he's painted a lot of different picture and a clearer picture to them, especially Benita. For her to see that it's not a necessity. I need to ensure that I don't fail and I get my diploma, at least to finish, go to graduate, go to college. Unlike before, she was, oh, I think you can work in McDonald's. You don't need where will you start from? So I think now, this morning was awesome. All of them. It was only Victor that were asking, so what about you? And he's still about to clearly say whatever he wants. But now, I really want to commend the teachers and at least for little that at least they've been displaying what they've learned. Praise the Lord.
I think we got a commendation. Let's get the other side of it. Let's see. We can get more commendations. Sometimes let's be innovative and also get some other side and say, okay, maybe if we do this, maybe you are not actually saying this they didn't do well. Maybe you say, perhaps we should try this and try that. I want to hear things like, how about going on an excursion to the hills, to Banff, and let's bring God into those mountains and see how God, gets into the mountains and all the rivers and all those kind of things. But I think Brother Banji is very right when he says, I can see this. It's very interesting that in the other society, people will rather look for schools where they have fewer children because they believe they have more attention. But in the Christian world, it seems to be the opposite. People want a place where there are more children when there are very many so that they can. So we want that church where the children are very many. But in the schools, we want the schools where the children are very few. So they say they have attention. But I think that's exactly what the kids are getting here. They're getting a one-to-one attention, which is really great. If I was not impressed at all by anything, I was extremely impressed by their praise and worship. If you don't understand what I mean, please ask Brother Tosin. How many keys did you have to change?
No.
Did you hear that? If you know what it takes, I've played along with kids before. You will change keys so many times. I was listening to them, the keys didn't change. So if these kids at this age can keep to a key, even some of us adults here, I can bet you, If I give you microphone now, you will run about 6 keys. But they didn't, which was really fantastic. I was impressed. So they're doing something that many of us don't know, but it's an opportunity to showcase. So I'll leave. Yes, please.
I have a question. I wanted to know if there are plans to split the children so they can work according to their age.
Yes, technically there are plans, but we might actually need help from parents and things like that in trying to split the children up, because we do want to be able to do that, but there are 3 of us, and with Victor getting older and spending more time on that side, we want to also integrate him into the teaching. So we want to be able to have enough people that we can split the children up and actually teach them what they would understand. So we're thinking maybe around 13 years old-ish. And then also we have Tommy, and I'm not sure about how we can take him away from here, because I think he's doing a very good job and he's understanding what's going on here. So if we split up the other kids, I don't want to take him away from something that he's good at and something that he's understanding. So we're just trying to make sure that every single person gets the best from where they are. So we are looking into something, but I think Auntie Buki may have better insight.
Thank you, Isaac. Just to add to what Isaac said, if we can possibly have the number of teachers that we need, we're looking at having from ages 0 to 2, then 3 to 5, then 6 to 9, and 10 to 12, then the teens church, which is 13 to 18. That's what we're looking at in the future, because you'll find out that it's been so tough occupying Victor. It's just about now that Victor is adjusting to our classes. And, well, thank God that he has more than enough attention. But otherwise, it would have been difficult to get him interested in things of God. The things that will interest people like Victor is not the same thing that will interest people like Dami Wan, because their age grades are different. Sometimes we find people like Temitayo feeling, and Dede feeling like the language that you're speaking is a little bit low for us. In order to manage this challenge, we've gone as far as when we're testing them, we split their exam pattern into different types, just so that we can reach each child at their own level. The kind of exam that Dede and Temitayo would take is a bit higher in demand than the one we set for people like Benita and Juan, and then we set another one for Charis. Okay, Benita, Faith, and Dami. Then Juan and Charis have their own different one. But if we have people who can help, take these children, I think we would achieve much more. It's just that we're a small church for now, trusting God for growth. If we have 1 or 2 more people in addition, I think would go miles further. Praise God. Did I answer your question?
Praise the Lord. Well, I don't have a question, because it's part of me. Like my daughters, like for those who don't know, who maybe just visiting for the first time, aside Sister Buki, Tosai and Isaac are my daughters. And I'm part of whatever is happening in the children department. I see them staying as late as 1 a.m., preparing and setting the questions and doing so many things. And every Friday, they are Sister Buki, doing the preview for the Sunday school and for the children department. What I want to say is a very big thank you to the 3 of you. And just like they have said, they need more hands. And that's just it. We're just believing God for helpers. Just like Sister Buki said, if we have more people, then we'll be able to really put these children in perspective and as per where they should learn. I want to appreciate you, and I want to thank God for your lives. And Tosai and Isaac, they all started like this. From the little ones, taking them to children's classes, even from babies. And I thank God that today they are being used. So, and same way, we want to see Benita, Juan, Faith, Charis, Dami, Dede, Temitayo, that every one of them, Benita, tomorrow doing this. And that's why we're training them now. And we want to thank God for what He's doing. And my prayer is my heart desire and a deep burden in my heart that we will get, more hands. And that's my prayer every day, that God will bring people who are ready to work and willing to work, so that this work will move forward. Because these children, they are tomorrow, and we really need to help them. And I want to appreciate God because they are learning. And as Brother Banji said, he could testify that there's a difference. So if anybody thinks that there's no difference in their children's lives, since they've been attending the children, department and children and the Sunday school and the classes, please, we just want you to speak up and let them know where you want improvement, what you want them to do better, and what they're doing right. So all I want to say is thank you, God bless you, because you're doing a great job, and the Lord will reward you in due season, in Jesus' name.
Can I ask a question?
I don't actually have a question, but probably maybe input that I probably think might find useful. When it comes to the children, I'm thinking that if it's possible, I know you're still having challenges with the number of teachers you have. In order to be able to give the right things to probably the right group of kids, I'd say based on your number, you might consider just splitting up the kids into those brackets. Probably have a lower, mid, and upper group where you can actually, that way you know that the older ones are getting what they need. Because really, they are at that age when questions will begin to come. You need to begin to give them what they need now. They're very vulnerable at this stage, so it's important if you can split your classes into just 3 basic groups. I understand where you want the ages to work, but I'd say go for low, mid, and then the high group, so that you can actually have people actually giving them the attention they need. Secondly, I'm also thinking that if you guys want to, maybe think of taking the kids for a tour of the kind. Take them somewhere. Let them go see stuff. It's also another way to build bond, and it's another way to actually teach them other stuff. Nature is full of God's magnificence. And sometimes when you take them out there and you actually begin to show them stuff, they might be able to appreciate God better. Praise God. But nonetheless, you guys are doing a great job, and I know that God will bless you all in the fullness of time. Praise God.
Amen. Just to say a word to what my husband said. Thank you. The usual principle when dealing with children is to have at least 2 teachers within a class. Otherwise, it's difficult for one person to handle all of them. Children can be quite demanding. One person might want to use the bathroom just while you're at the middle of one teaching. Another person might be plucking another one. You understand? So when we have 2 teachers in one class, one is teaching, the other is kind of taking charge of all the other things that are happening. And that's what has made it difficult for us to split. Even when we have to take Victor separately, he's still within our space there. So that we have at least 2 people with the other kids. So if we have 1 or 2 other people join us, it will be easier to do the split. And that's why we're making this appeal, please.
I was just going to ask, what have people noticed? Because Uncle Banji mentioned how Benita is more focused on kind of the future and doing better in school. She even talked to me about how she could get a scholarship in school and all of that kind of stuff. And we've seen that. And I think, we've seen a lot of growth in many of them, all of them, actually. But then there are things that we want to be able to teach, like maybe on love or like other topics we might want to teach in the future. So what is it that you've noticed in the kids that you think they might need to learn more about, or something they don't know about the Bible? So a question they might have asked you at some point that they may not fully, truly understand, or you think that they need to learn more about. Does anyone have anything like that? Or are they all perfect? Uncle Sharon.
This is more of an addition more than anything else. It's more of an addition more than anything else. I'm just saying, making a general comment. What I've seen from the children, I tend to see a lot of little things, and sometimes it's interesting because you see someone like one. There was a point in time where he was like a raging bull. You know, he'll bounce up and down, and then I don't know what you had been teaching him on the other side, or if he was getting enough caning from home for those who are Nigerian. But whatever it is, I noticed that he's calmed down. Maybe it's just age, maybe it's the teaching in church, whichever it is, we praise the Lord for it. One of the things I also note, I would say, and this is in addition, is I think a lot of Christian children these days don't get the right kind of mix between understanding spiritual matters within the world in which they live in. I think that what they see a lot of is that church is church, and school is school, but there's no real point on which the two can merge. Having said that, there was a point in my life I used to think that those things were so different, that whatever you're learning in school, or whatever you're learning in church were very different things, or whatever you were studying, if you were reading something, there was no educational imparts to it. There are many matters these days, and this is just in terms of topics when you're looking at the children, these days that are very important to today's kids. But I think in church we tend to shy away from some of those very important matters, whether it be as contentious issues as abortion, or even something as contentious right now as the ongoing debate with cannabis legalization. So, I mean, I think we need to try and get these children to start to understand the world around them, but within a Christian perspective.
Well, thank you, Bro Sheon. Just to let you know that we've actually been doing that, but we have to keep within their level. For instance, we understand that all this LGBTQ stuff that is going on, our children understand that God made male and female and no in between. Our children understand one, what is the rainbow? What